Hey, Lon, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well, Mike. How are you?
I'm hanging in. Appreciate your call.
Great. Appreciate everything you do for the country. Hey, let's apply some of that Buttigieg new math to my taxes, for example. So if I made $60,000 last year, but I tell the IRS kind of precisely or imprecisely that, oh well, I only made $48,000 last year. Do I get away with that same kind of $17,000 discount?
Can you imagine your defense is I should have been more precise?
Exactly. I go back to the IRS and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I should have been more precise,
Yeah.
but I still want my refund."
They'd be understanding. They wouldn't mind. Just admit you
I'm
you
sure
should have
they
been more
would.
precise. Heaven help us, Lon. Great point. Thank you, sir. Also, some breaking news out of the Derek Chauvin trial. The murder trial the prosecutors could be days away from resting their case. There was dramatic testimony this morning from Minnesota's chief medical examiner. And honestly, the guilt or innocence of Derek Chauvin is going to rest on the jury that is going to determine whether or not George Floyd's medical condition, compounded by the 9 minutes or 9.5 minutes of Derek Chauvin's knee on George Floyd's neck, what was the deciding factor in George Floyd's passing, his death? Dr. Andrew Baker, the chief medical examiner for Hennepin County, said the way police held Floyd down and compressed his neck was, quote, just more than Mr. Floyd could take given the condition of his heart. So he had a bad heart, according to the chief medical examiner, and the knee to the neck was just more than he could take. So, it's hard for me to even begin, and I think it's irresponsible for me to try to make any kind of a judgment from afar based on media reporting and the coverage. But it does seem to a layman that the jury is going to have to decide if that knee wasn't placed on his neck for 9.5 minutes, would he be alive today? Could he be alive today? If the answer is, if the jury accepts the medical examiner's belief that the knee on the neck was more than he could take considering the condition of his heart, I think you'll have a guilty verdict. I don't know. But then you got to get into what level, to what degree, murder, manslaughter. I mean, these are so many questions that have yet to play out. And all I know is there are riots and looting. There's violence going on right now because there was another police shooting in Minneapolis over the weekend. And we're witnessing mob rule. We're seeing mobs make a lot of decisions for the American people. And I'm worried, obviously, and I'm practically distraught about our future. As a nation, I mean, I want to end this hour with a real important caller who echoes what I believe, and that is we've got to return to God. We got to turn back to our faith. Kevin, I know that's what's on your heart today, right?
Yeah, Mike, I agree with you so much. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Cannot believe what I'm seeing, and I just feel it so much that as a nation, there's so many ways we've turned our back on God, and we need to turn back to Him, read the Bible, and pray and ask for a miracle.
And you know what? You've just touched somebody's heart with your point, Kevin. God bless you. Thank you. And my hope and my wish and my prayer is that Americans take that message very seriously, because there are some things that are not going to be determined on this earthly plane. So let's keep praying. Pray for one another. Pray for our leaders. Pray for our country.